Welcome back, my dear friends of the universe, to another video of Let's Talk About. So, in this show I pick a topic, usually a game, and then I talk on about what's good and what's bad and so on to get a discussion going, and hopefully you want to pitch into this discussion and talk about the topic yourself down in the comment section. I love to hear what you have to say and think about things. Alright, so in this video I want to talk about Star Wars Battlefront with focus on the recent open beta that I just participated in with like 9 million other people, sort of, something like that, I don't know. Apparently the biggest open beta ever. Yeah, so that's kind of cool. Just a side note before we start, I'm not going to complain about the two obvious things that were broken in the beta, like the spawns, the balance issues and so on, because I think that's going to be fixed, and honestly it's not that important. Or, well, of course it's important, but it's not that interesting to talk about it from my point of view. Alright, Star Wars Battlefront is probably one of the biggest and most talked about titles this year. I'm honestly already kind of sick of all the information and similar videos as this one that are being put out. With that said though, I want to try to make this a little bit more interesting for this video. Not only did I try to play the game as much as I had time for, which unfortunately was not as much as I wanted, but enough to get a understanding of the game. But I took my time and I looked and I listened as much as I could to all the different impressions that I could find around the Battlefront beta, mostly on YouTube, but on other sites as well. And may I say that mixed is probably the key word of people's first impressions and so on. Mixed opinions, mixed expectations, mixed outcome, mixed impressions, as I said, and so on and so on and so on and so on and so on. Personally, when I went into the beta, I had a picture of what I was going to play. I played the previous Battlefront games a long time ago, I might add, but I played them. I did. And I have my expectations of what DICE would put out because of the Battlefield franchise. And to summarize what I expected in one word or title, it would probably be like Battle Wars Frontfield. Or something. It sounded way better in my head. Way better. I don't think I was wrong to expect some sort of mix of the feeling of Battlefield and Star Wars Battlefront. It seems to be the general consensus from people with the experience from the gaming world. I mean, that's what DICE does amazingly well, the Battlefield franchise. So why would they not use their experience from working on Battlefield to good use to make something really immersive, new, interesting, amazing, with a lot of depth, sort of a reboot of the Battlefront franchise with a new spin, utilizing what DICE is good at doing. And I think my expectations made my first impressions of the game. Sounds a little bit weird, but I think that's the case. From early footage, we already know that the game would look amazing. It's the most authentic Star Wars experience ever in the form of a game. The game has amazing sound and amazing graphics, especially for someone who grew up with Star Wars like I did. So that was already included in my expectations. What I did not expect was the level of simplicity. Especially the level of simplicity from DICE. I think that was what threw me off and made me ask, WTF, mate? What is this? Is this going to be everything? And yes, I know that we're gonna get more game modes and so on, and I mean, it's pretty cool as it is, but we're just more used to having a lot of more stuff. So, if I could summarize my experience with the beta as simple as possible, it probably would be too simple, with emphasis on too. I think that will continue to be my picture of what Battlefront is and what it will be. Too simple. I don't know why some game designers have the idea that if you want to cater to as big an audience as possible, it has to be very simple and easy to understand and pick up. That might be true for some cases, but don't make that as an excuse to scale down the depth of what the game could offer. Make the game very simple and easy to pick up on the outside, when you first get into the game, and then give it more depth on the inside. So you have something to do while you continue playing it, alright? Also, the too simple argument for me holds over things more than just customization and depth of that kind of things. They are sitting on a product with some of the most amazing and authentic graphics ever in a video game, but the UI throws me off something immensely. I watched a video of the YouTuber Matimio when he played the game without the UI completely, and it looks awesome. But once you slap on the UI again, I just cringe every time. There is a way to make a game feel simple and amazing, and there is a line that you can cross to make the game feel simple and sloppy. That's what I'm getting from some of these simplistic elements of the game. Sloppy. But not very sloppy. No. It's that fine line between simple and too simple that just pushes the game over the edge towards feeling sloppy for me. Alright? It's hard to explain, but once you experience it, you should probably understand what I'm talking about here. But now we come to the part where it gets a little bit confusing for me. And the reason why I'd like anyone who get their hands on Battlefront to try this out for themselves. It's not something that I would usually recommend, but I got this from watching the YouTuber Hutch. Cast aside your previous expectations and opinions of what a competitive shooter should be. Cast aside all I just said about it being too simple. Cast aside what you would expect should be there for a modern shooter in terms of customization and depth, and just indulge. Play. Do. Act. And suddenly the game becomes really fun. At least for a while, and at the moment I think that's the game's saving grace. If you don't expect too much from it, you'll enjoy it. But that's also a question, why shouldn't we expect much from it? It's something we're paying for, it's something that really should have depth, it's something that we want to be able to play for a very long time. It's a dilemma, alright? It's a dilemma. Some of the other issues that made me think, WTF, really? Is the third person view / mechanics. Most of the time in vehicles just feels off. You're not hitting where the reticle points towards, and when you're on foot, there's a lot of times when I hit objects just in front of me, which I felt I shouldn't hit when I started to take the shot, but I did. And it's not something that I've experienced too much in a third-person view shooter before. I've always felt like I know where my gun is pointing at, even though I'm in a third person. And it might be the angle of the third-person view or something. I'm not really sure. It's just something personally that I've never had as a big of a issue with as I had in Battlefront. And it happened over and over again, so it just got annoying in the end. Also the star cards, it just, again, too simple. And the pickups, I mean, alright, it works, but both star cards and the pickups throw you out of the immersion of the game, making it feel, dare I say, too simple again. The game modes are the things that feel polished and something new and very exciting. Both Walker Assault and Drop Zone creates two very different experiences from what we game in the beta, and both are very fun to play depending on what you feel like playing. Personally, I lean towards the more tactical Walker Assault, but that's probably just because that's the person I am. But when I wanted something more mindless and just fun and just action-packed, I went with Drop Zone. So, actually really liked the different game modes in the beta. The fact that the game will not hold a single-player campaign in the classic fashion, there is the survival mode, which, to be honest, not too interesting. I think the game might have benefited from a single-player campaign, absolutely. I mean, it's Star Wars. Could be some amazing opportunities there, and I probably would have played it as well. But it's not something that I'm gonna lose sleep over. Star Wars Battlefront is a weird one for me. At the moment, it's something that really does not cater to what I would want from this title, yet for some strange reason, if I remove all the expectations that I had before going into the beta, it's a really enjoyable experience. It's sort of a 5 steps back, 3 steps forward kind of deal. But in a positive way. I don't know how the fuck that is even possible. I don't know, but... And with all that said, I probably will buy it and play it more, even though I don't kind of understand why. Maybe a bit with the hope that they polish up everything that I have a problem with, and maybe with the hope of a game mode or something that caters more to the hardcore audience and people like me. Maybe because of the maybes themselves, and I'm actually interested to see where this game ends up, sort of. There's not too much to say about it. It's Star Wars, simple Star Wars, easy to pick up, feels a tad sloppy, and yeah, I'm gonna leave you with that. If you have the chance to try it out and have not already tried it in the beta, do it! Just do it! It's very much worth a try to make up your own mind about how you feel about the game. I think the main question here is to see how long this game will live and continue to have a growing audience or a audience at all, and how it's received once it's finally out. I think that's the most important part here, at least for me. Thanks for listening to me ramble about Battlefront for a while. Please leave your opinions and impressions of the game so far in the comments. Do you disagree? Do you agree with me? Do you have something else you want to complain about that I didn't really focus on? Please do so in the comments below. Leave a like and a share, it really makes a difference. And until next time, bye. In cooperation with giveaway links, one of the best places to get free games on the web, link in the description.